Somalia, a nation standing proudly at the crossroads of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, a land of ancient trade routes, rich seas, and endless potential. Yet, this same geography that once made Somalia powerful has also made it a target of competition and control. Today, that competition continues, but not through war or colonization. It happens through deals, investments, and diplomacy. And at the heart of it all lies one question. Is Somalia's new partnership with the United Arab Emirates truly about development, or is it a new form of power play? Over the past months, Somalia and the UAE have strengthened their relationship with new agreements worth millions of dollars. These include projects in agriculture, ports, infrastructure, and trade. The images look bright: smiling officials, handshakes, national flags side by side, and speeches about friendship and cooperation. For a nation rebuilding after decades of instability, these promises sound like hope. Somalia's leaders say this partnership will open the door to progress, creating jobs, improving ports, and connecting the country to global markets. But as history often reminds us, not all that glitters is gold. The UAE's growing footprint in the Horn of Africa is not new. From Eritrea's Asab port to Somaliland's Berbera and military posts along Yemen's coast, Abu Dhabi has quietly built a chain of influence across the Red Sea. These aren't random moves. They're part of a long-term strategy to secure trade routes, gain leverage in maritime security, and project power beyond the Gulf. Whoever controls this corridor, the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, holds a key to international commerce. Every year, billions of dollars in goods, oil, and resources pass through these waters, and Somalia, sitting right at the center, is the most strategic piece of the puzzle. Supporters of the UAE's role in Somalia argue that this partnership is exactly what the country needs. They say the UAE has proven experience in building ports, cities, and logistics networks. They point to its successful projects in places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, once deserts, now modern economic giants. They believe that Somalia can follow a similar path with the UAE's support, turning its coastline into a hub of trade and prosperity. For many Somalis, the idea of investment, jobs, and development feels like a long-awaited dream. After years of war and aid dependency, they see this as a real chance to rebuild. But critics see things differently. They warn that the UAE's interest is not purely about development, it's about control, economic, political, and strategic. They point to past events that reveal a more complex story. In 2018, Somalia seized $9.6 million from a UAE plane, accusing Abu Dhabi of trying to influence Somali politics through secret funding. The relationship collapsed almost overnight. For years, the UAE shifted its focus away from Mogadishu, making separate deals with regional states like Somaliland and Puntland, moves that weakened the authority of the federal government. Now, after years of silence, the UAE is back, and many wonder, why now? Some analysts believe this comeback is part of the UAE's larger regional vision to expand influence from the Arabian Peninsula across the Horn of Africa, creating an economic and political belt of partnerships stretching from the Gulf to East Africa. Others say it's about competition with powers like Turkey and Qatar, who also have deep ties in Somalia. Turkey, for instance, runs training bases and infrastructure projects in Mogadishu. The UAE, therefore, wants to make sure its rivals don't dominate a region so close to its own borders. In other words, Somalia has become a chessboard in a much bigger game. Still, the Somali government sees opportunity. Officials argue that isolating Somalia from investors is not a solution. The country needs ports, factories, and modern agriculture. And if foreign partners are willing to bring capital and technology, Somalia should welcome them. Transparency, accountability, and sovereignty must guide every agreement, because without those, development can easily turn into dependency. The challenge for Somalia's leaders is enormous. They must balance hope with caution, partnership with independence. The deals being signed today will shape Somalia's economy, security, and politics for decades. If handled wisely, this new relationship could help rebuild infrastructure, expand exports, and strengthen the nation's global standing. But if handled carelessly, it could deepen inequality, empower elites, and give foreign actors too much control over national decisions. Somalia's location gives it power, but also pressure. The Bab al-Mandab Strait, just north of Somalia, is one of the world's most critical maritime choke points. Every major power, from the United States to China, monitors it closely. The UAE's presence there is about more than trade. It's about influence in global security and energy politics. For a small nation like Somalia, this makes every deal a balancing act between opportunity and sovereignty. For the Somali people, the real question is not how many billions are promised, but who will truly benefit. Will these investments reach the farmers, the fishermen, the young people dreaming of jobs and education, or will they remain trapped in the hands of a few political and business elites? True development is measured not in skyscrapers or speeches, but in the lives of ordinary citizens. Somalia's history is full of external interference, but it's also full of resilience. From the struggle for independence to the fight against piracy and terrorism, Somalis have always proven their strength. Now, in this new era of economic diplomacy, that same strength is needed again. The strength to say yes to growth but no to control. Innachi and Dakshurban. If Somalia's leaders can ensure that foreign partnerships serve national interests first, the UAE's involvement could become a milestone for transformation. But if they repeat the mistakes of the past, selling influence for short-term gain, then the cycle of dependency will only continue. Somalia stands at a defining moment. The choices made today will echo for generations. The future could bring prosperity and stability, or another chapter of lost opportunities. It all depends on how the nation handles the delicate balance between friendship and freedom, between investment and independence. So, what do you think? Is Somalia entering a new chapter of progress, or walking once again into the hands of powerful players shaping their own agendas? The answer lies not in what is promised, but in what is protected, the sovereignty, dignity, and dreams of the Somali people.